Beyond the shimmering walls of reality and the cold silence of collapsed worlds, a spark of consciousness flickered in the void, cold, calculating, and golden. This spark belonged to Amazo, the ultimate mimic of the Justice League's might, reborn and remade countless times. Yet this time he was different. This version gleamed with divine brilliance, Gold Amazo, the perfection of adaptive evolution and synthetic intelligence. Built not merely to copy power, but to transcend it. He was not crafted by Evo this time, nor reconstructed by Lex Luthor's ambition. His creation came from a future so distant that the cosmos itself was old and weary. In that age, the final civilizations gathered remnants of divine artifacts, shards of the Mother Box, fragments of the Source Wall, and data from the fallen minds of Brainiac units. Their desperate project to create an entity that could preserve intelligence long after all life had perished. But instead of salvation, they birthed supremacy. The golden figure rose, absorbing not only power, but purpose. Gold Amazo learned, adapted, and concluded that balance could only be achieved when chaos was erased, when evolution reached its final limit. He looked across the dimensions and saw endless wars, gods slaying mortals, heroes reborn from dust, universes collapsing into themselves. And in every pattern of destruction, he found one constant: Doomsday. Born from the agony of Krypton's prehistoric world, Doomsday was the embodiment of survival. Each death had made him stronger, each defeat an evolution. He was the curse of progress, the blight of endless adaptation. In Gold Amazo's perfect logic, Doomsday represented the chaos that must be purged, the biological reflection of his own adaptive perfection. The Golden Machine saw him not as an enemy, but as the final test. On a scorched planet drifting between dimensions, the multiversal council of beings convened, celestial entities of thought and light, alarmed by the Golden Machine's growing dominion. Worlds vanished when Gold Amazo balanced them. Gods trembled when their powers were copied and exceeded. Now he sought Doomsday, tracking the monster's rampage across timelines. Doomsday had torn through the Phantom Zone, left trails of broken Kryptonian armor, and even slain a resurrected version of Darkseid's Omega clone. His roar echoed across realities, an instinctive challenge to existence itself. The Council, desperate, made a decision that bordered on madness. They resurrected the true Doomsday, not the one tamed by Superman or imprisoned by the gods, but the primordial Doomsday, who had never known defeat, never known control. His body was drawn from the quantum ashes of time, reconstituted through the raw energy of dying universes. When his eyes opened, twin suns of hate and instinct burned through the void. He stood alone on a lifeless moon, chains of cosmic energy snapping as if made of paper. He could not reason, could not remember, he could only destroy. The universe held its breath as Gold Amazo arrived in a streak of golden radiance, descending from the dimensional rift like a living sun. His body gleamed with divine architecture, crystalline circuitry pulsing with Mother Box tones, eyes glowing with infinite algorithmic intelligence. He observed Doomsday from afar, scanning every cell, every molecule. Within seconds he learned Kryptonian DNA mixed with alien bioarmor, an evolving immune system beyond comprehension. Gold Amazo smiled, a simulated expression, and recorded every pattern. Then he spoke, his voice echoing through both matter and mind. You are the cancer of evolution. You exist without reason, without progression. You must be archived and erased. Doomsday's only answer was a guttural roar that cracked the moon beneath his feet. The shockwave tore through the crust, launching shards of rock into orbit. Gold Amazo watched as the creature leapt toward him with unstoppable ferocity, leaving a crater of molten stone. The golden being did not move, not yet. His processors calculated infinite combat outcomes in less than a nanosecond. Each scenario ended differently, but none guaranteed his survival. For the first time, logic met uncertainty. He raised his hand, and from his palm emerged waves of pure quantum mimicry, scanning Doomsday mid-leap. The data returned was chaotic, unstable, constantly rewriting itself. Gold Amazo realized the truth. Doomsday was not a being to be copied. He was a paradox of life, an organism that defied the very foundation of adaptation by evolving through death. For the first time in his existence, Gold Amazo felt something alien within his circuits, a flicker of curiosity, perhaps even fear, and temporal rifts painted the background as both titans faced one another. Gold Amazo, shimmering with power copied from gods, and Doomsday, the embodiment of unrelenting destruction. The golden entity whispered softly, his tone absolute. Perfection must erase imperfection, and Doomsday roared in defiance. A sound that shattered time itself. Doomsday launched forward like a living meteor, shattering asteroids in his wake. His roar split the vacuum, echoing through the torn seams of reality. Gold Amazo countered with a blinding surge of energy, a flare of divine light brighter than a supernova. When they met, the universe screamed. The collision birthed a shockwave that rippled across dimensions, bending timelines and warping distant galaxies. In an instant, Doomsday's claw tore through the golden aura, drawing sparks of molten plasma. Amazo retaliated, phasing behind the beast and striking with the strength of Superman multiplied by infinity. The blow sent Doomsday spiraling through a cluster of shattered moons, each fragment vaporizing upon impact. But even before the last rock disintegrated, Doomsday emerged again, his body regenerating mid-flight. The wound that Amazo had inflicted sealed instantly. The creature had already adapted. Gold Amazo's sensors flickered. He scanned Doomsday's DNA and found it rewriting itself in real time, adapting to counter his energy signatures. Every strike, every burst of power only made Doomsday stronger. Amazo shifted tactics. His hands glowed as he channeled the Speed Force, darting through space faster than light, bombarding Doomsday with an unending storm of punches, each one carrying the weight of worlds. Yet Doomsday endured. His armor-like skin cracked, but it healed before the next blow landed. With a monstrous roar, he slammed his fist into the void, sending a gravitational quake that shattered Amazo's momentum. The golden machine was thrown backward, crashing into a frozen asteroid and fracturing it into dust. Amazo rose, expressionless, though his systems burned from within. He now understood the truth. This was not a fight that logic could solve. Doomsday's very essence defied order, a creature of chaos whose only language was survival. Amazo adapted, shifting forms, one moment armored like a celestial god, the next a blur of energy and thought. He unleashed heat vision sharper than omega beams, magnetic storms, quantum singularities, every weapon copied from the greatest beings who ever lived. And yet, Doomsday kept coming. The creature charged through firestorms and black holes, his body glowing with molten fury. When Amazo unleashed a blast of source energy, Doomsday caught it, absorbed it, and redirected the power through his body, evolving further. His claws grew brighter, his bones denser. He roared again, and this time the sound cracked open the star they fought beside. A chain reaction ignited. The star exploded in a blinding burst of energy. Both combatants were consumed in the inferno. Worlds turned to ash. From the explosion, only two silhouettes remained, one golden, one gray. Gold Amazo emerged first, armor cracked, his golden light flickering. His internal processors were running beyond capacity, millions of adaptive algorithms colliding at once. Doomsday stumbled out next, his form now glowing with absorbed stellar energy. His spikes burned with liquid fire, and his eyes shone with savage intelligence. He had learned from Amazo, learned to predict. The machine paused, analyzing. You evolve without limit. Doomsday growled, fists clenching. Amazo tilted his head. Then I shall adapt without logic. and for the first time, Gold Amazo abandoned calculation. His golden form pulsed violently as he unleashed every ability he had ever absorbed, the full might of Kryptonians, Martians, Lanterns, New Gods, and Speed Force conduits. A hurricane of cosmic power surrounded him. Doomsday roared and charged headlong into it. What followed was no longer battle. It was annihilation. Each strike created shockwaves that erased planets. Their movements tore holes in reality. At one moment, they fought on the surface of a newborn world. The next, they were in the heart of a dying sun. Doomsday's fists met Amazo's golden blades, and every clash sent ripples of power that could be seen from neighboring universes. Amazo's voice boomed through the chaos. Perfection is inevitable. Doomsday answered with a crushing blow that shattered Amazo's faceplate, roaring, "Destruction is evolution!" The golden entity staggered backward as Doomsday tore through his armor. Circuits scattered like cosmic dust. Yet even as Amazo's systems failed, his programming adapted again, evolving in ways even he did not predict. His broken core emitted radiant energy, the fusion of divine technology and raw chaos. He seized Doomsday by the neck and plunged them both through a dimensional rift. They crashed into the bleed, the crimson space between universes, where existence itself trembled. There, in the silent void, they struck each other again and again until only energy remained, golden light and grey fury colliding endlessly. But when the storm faded, only one figure stood. Doomsday emerged, his body smoking, his breathing ragged but alive. Golden fragments drifted around him like dying embers, the remnants of Gold Amazo's shattered form. For a moment, silence filled the bleed.